Welcome back. Now, news reaching us now says that President Muhammadu Buhari has suspended the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. David Babashir Lawal. President Buhari has also ordered an investigation into the allegations of violations of law and due process made against the SGF in the award of contracts under the Presidential Initiative on the Northeast. The President has also suspended the Director General of the NIA, Ayo Oke, pending the outcome of the investigation into the discovery of large amounts of foreign and local currencies by EFCC in a residential apartment at Osborne Towers, Ikoyi, Lagos. And the spring meetings of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund entered its third day today, with various sessions continuing. On Tuesday, the IMF briefed on its outlook for the world economy. On the report, the IMF outlined the risks and the opportunities that weigh on the forecasts of growth, which will be consistent but under current and emerging challenges around the world. Channel's business editor, Bosun Omofaye, now reports.
Sub-Saharan Africa will contribute to the global economic growth of 2017 and 2018. However, the continent will see some key challenges lagging the rest of the world.
Despite these signs of strength, many other countries will continue to struggle this year with growth rates significantly lower than past readings. Commodity prices have firmed since early 2016, but at low levels, and many commodity exporters remain challenged, notably in the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America.
Part of the challenges dragging Africa's economic growth revolves around insurgency in Nigeria's northeast and East Africa, as well as food insecurity in Sudan.
In the case of Nigeria, the issue is whether security, Boko Haram. Inherently the economic prospects are not good, and unfortunately also for some of these countries, our ability to engage with financial assistance is very limited, either because of existing arrears or because of conflict situations.
To move things forward, the Division Chief of the World Economic Outlook, Oya Sellison, points to some fiscal and monetary cooperation.
Fiscal policy has to adjust to the new reality, in many cases by focusing more on domestic revenue mobilization, to some extent also rationalizing expenditures. Where feasible, where exchange rate regimes allow, the adjustment could also benefit very much from exchange rate flexibility, which helps to restore the value of revenues in domestic currency and thereby avoid deeper cuts in real spending. And also in many of these economies, there's a broader, longer-term need to diversify the economy away from commodity-based sources of growth into other activities.
But despite the downside risks, IMF Maurice Obstfeld says Africa remains incredibly diverse, with challenges but also opportunities. From Washington, D.C., Bosun Omofaye for Channel's Business News.
In the meantime, discussions continues at the spring meetings today with focus on global financial stability, innovation, technology and jobs. Now let's bring in Channel's television news editor, Ronke Raji, who is also at that meeting. Well, I will say good morning to you, Ronke. Thank you very much for joining us. I can see the weather is treating you real good.
Thank you, Chimeze. Well,
right. Looking at the report by IMF released yesterday, it talked about Nigeria's economy growing by 0.8% in 2017, surpassing South Africa, and of course 1.9% in 2018. Now, put this in perspective, considering the recent report by World Economists that Nigeria has come out of recession, and of course the PMI that were released by FBN Quest and CBN.
Thank you, Chimeze. Well, I think I'd rather be cautious. Yeah, I wouldn't say Nigeria has come out of recession just yet. If you look at that IMF report that was released yesterday, talking about the world economic outlook, the IMF did say that Nigeria has been able to record some growth, primarily based on oil, agriculture, and government spending. Now, the World Bank this morning also released another report on sub-Saharan Africa saying that the continent will grow by about 2.6%. But what are both reports saying? They're saying that the government needs to sustain its reforms in agriculture, in monetary policy, and we're looking to see some kind of alignment between monetary and fiscal policies, which is what appears to be lacking now. Yes, Nigeria, Angola, and South Africa are the three countries that the World Bank has identified that would drive the projected 2.6% growth in the continent. But the World Bank was also careful to say that there's some protectionist sentiments that we are seeing in some of those countries. And if you look at Nigeria's monetary policy, for instance, a lot of analysts have said that the country should be more flexible in its monetary, in its foreign exchange policies. But the central bank has been adopting some policies, injecting forex into the market, you know, on a regular basis. The question is, how sustainable is that? So these are some of the warnings. So clearly, what both the IMF and the World Bank are saying is that yes, we've seen some growth, and that are looking sustainable, provided certain things are put in place.
Now, Ronke, just before I let you go, a quick one. What do you see to be the major takeaway for participants at this meeting, particularly Nigeria's Central Bank governor and the finance minister? They are there at the meeting.
Well, based on this good news, I want to call it good news from both the IMF and the World Bank, talking about some growth in the economy. I think what both the Nigerian officials, both the minister and the CBN governor, the session on Africa proper is taking place tomorrow. But I don't see any deviation from the stance that the two institutions have taken already. That is, the government needs to sustain its reforms in the agriculture sector. It needs to sustain its reforms on monetary policies, and there should be a consistent effort on the part of government to ensure that these reforms are not just a one-off thing, the things that should be sustained on a regular basis.
All right, thank you very much. We're waiting for the Global Financial Stability Report. In the meantime,
which is going on about right now.
Right, I know. Enjoy your day. Just before we go, President Muhammadu Buhari has suspended the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. David Babashe Lawal. President Buhari has also ordered an investigation into the allegations of violations of law and due process made against the SGF in the award of contracts under the Presidential Initiative on the Northeast. The President has also suspended the Director General of the NIA, Ayo, pending the outcome of the investigation into the discovery of large amounts of foreign and local currencies by EFCC in a residential apartment at Osborne Towers, Ikoyi, Lagos. And that's it on the program for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimeze Obi. Wow.